Welcome to Earth and Kind Quests. My name is Mike, and this video shares about what might happen when a champion fighter battles against an Evoker Wizard. The challenge becomes more complicated when hostile trolls arrive. The fighter and the wizard are at level 8, using the rules in the 2024 Player's Handbook of Dungeons & Dragons. The trolls are challenge rating 5 creatures in the 2025 Monster Manual. According to the 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide, one troll presents a challenge difficulty between moderate and high for one level 8 character. In the video text description you can see the web links for the level 8 character sheets in D&D Beyond. You will notice that the characters are not necessarily optimal as combatants. Part of the intention is to experiment with different kinds of characters and situations. The human champion fighter is named Percy Jones. One key feature of a champion fighter involves rolling with advantage for initiative, and this part could be the deciding factor in many battles. The champion fighter scores a critical hit on a 19 or 20 of a d20 attack roll. Typically, Percy Jones attacks with a trident in one hand, applying the dueling fighting style, and the topple weapon mastery that potentially can knock an opponent prone. The Piercer feat works with the trident, adding more damage with a critical hit. The Shields Master feat provides another way to push an opponent or to knock an opponent prone. The Charger feat could add a little bit of extra damage or push an opponent. The Cloud Giant Goliath Evoker Wizard is named Evoker. During most battles, she prefers to stand at a distance while launching fireballs or other damage-dealing spells at her enemies. She can sculpt a spell to avoid hurting her allies. She can attempt limited battlefield control with a concentration spell such as Web or Hold Person. As a bonus action, she can use the Cloud's Jaunt feature of her Cloud Giant ancestry as a Goliath to teleport up to 30 feet without using a spell slot. For extra utility, the wizard routinely uses her ritual spells of Find Familiar and Phantom Steed. Currently, she has prepared herself with the Mage Armor spell, and therefore she is missing one first-level spell slot. Leading up to this point, the champion fighter Percy Jones and the Evoker Wizard Evoker wondered if their lives could be better under the rule of the mighty fire-breathing dragon who once exerted its power over these lands, until it was defeated by a group of adventurers. Percy Jones and Evoker wished that they could have worked with the dragon or with the dragon's team of enforcers as a way to gain power over this realm of ordinary people. One of those former enforcers of the defeated dragon happened to overhear this conversation. The draconic sorcerer, Sebastian Drake, offered that the two adventurers could prove themselves worthy to join with the sorcerer and the other former enforcers of the Red Dragon. The sorcerer tasked them with ambushing 2 students from the Spellsword Academy who were following him. Meanwhile, the sorcerer needed to rush with his journey through the forest and onward to a distant destination. Percy Jones and Evoker ambushed the 2 students from the Spellsword Academy. In the face of impending defeat, though, they escaped from the battle, and they attempted to follow along the path of the draconic sorcerer. The fighter noted that the wizard could have been more effective with spells to control the battlefield instead of only blasting with fireballs. The wizard criticized the fighter for being too weak-minded to defend against spellcasting and too lacking in his abilities to sustain through a prolonged combat. After resting overnight in the forest, today the champion fighter and the Evoker Wizard find a place along the forest path with remnant signs of a battle. They recognize the scorched ground, indicative of fireballs and other magic, likely related to the draconic sorcerer Sebastian Drake. They can see the footprints of several humanoids and other creatures of various sizes. The champion fighter Percy Jones examines the scene, using his knowledge of combat to interpret what happened here. He rolls for a survival check. With a result of 19, the champion fighter begins to decode the movements and events of this battlefield. The Evoker Wizard brushes aside her companion and demonstrates about her way to conduct an investigation. With an investigation skill check of 15, the wizard begins her lecture. The fighter stops the wizard from saying anything further. He has heard enough already. The wizard might regard her intelligence as a sign of her superiority, but now the champion fighter demands a duel to prove whether or not the wizard may have misjudged him. The two adventurers roll for initiative. The champion fighter rolls with advantage due to his remarkable athlete feature, resulting in 21. The wizard rolls 18. While the steed acts as a controlled mount, it shares the wizard's turn. The wizard's owl familiar rolls for its own initiative with a result of 13. In round 1, the champion fighter Percy Jones knows that the wizard can cast a spell at him if he steps away and then back again with the charger feat. Instead, he steps sideways and begins with his attacks. The first attack roll with the trident is 12, missing against the wizard's armor class of 15. The second attack hits with 26. It causes 9 piercing damage. Due to the topple weapon mastery of the trident, the wizard attempts a constitution saving throw. A result of 8 fails. The wizard topples down into the prone condition. Percy Jones uses his action surge for another 2 attacks. Striking with advantage against the prone target, a natural 20 scores a critical hit. With the extra damage of the piercer feat, the critical hit inflicts 20 piercing damage. The final attack, again rolling with advantage, hits the prone wizard. It brings 11 piercing damage. The Evoker Wizard, Evoker, retains only 10 of her total 50 hit points. The wizard uses half of her movement to stand up from the prone condition. As her action, she casts Hold Person. The fighter attempts a wisdom saving throw. A result of 10 fails. The fighter is paralyzed. While her opponent is paralyzed, the wizard uses her remaining movement to step over to her phantom steed and to mount onto the steed. She commands the steed to dash away, not out to the full distance of 120 feet, but rather staying close enough to dash back into melee contact with the fighter. In this situation, the wizard does not issue a command to her owl familiar. At the end of round 1, the champion fighter has inflicted serious damage to the wizard, yet the wizard managed to survive. Now the Evoker Wizard commands the battle against her paralyzed opponent. She can choose from many options depending on how long her opponent will be paralyzed. In round 2, the champion fighter Percy Jones is unable to act. At the end of his turn, he rolls a wisdom saving throw to attempt to break free from the Hold Person spell. Another result of 10 fails. The fighter remains paralyzed. This battle could end soon. The Evoker Wizard, Evoker, commands her steed to dash into melee contact with the paralyzed fighter. As her action, the wizard casts Scorching Ray with a 4th level spell slot, sending 5 beams of fire into her opponent. All of the attacks are with advantage within 5 feet of the paralyzed target. The fighter is incapacitated, and he cannot impose disadvantage on a ranged attack within 5 feet. Furthermore, every hit automatically becomes a critical hit. 3 of the 5 attacks hit through the champion fighter's armor class of 21. The total damage for the 3 critical hits involves 12 die 6, resulting in 58 fire damage. The champion fighter stands with only 26 of his total 84 hit points. If the paralysis will continue with the Hold Person spell, then he cannot survive another round of this battle. The Evoker Wizard, Evoker, scolds the fighter for wasting their time with this battle. She dismounts from her phantom steed. While scoffing sternly, she ends the Hold Person spell. In this moment, a loud thrashing noise moves through the forest. 2 large trolls approach. Speaking in the language of the giants, one troll demands to know if the wizard was responsible for the fireballs that disturbed the forest recently. The fireballs frightened away the forest animals, leaving nothing for the trolls to eat today. The other troll remarks that the fighter and the wizard together could constitute a satisfying meal. The 2 adventurers know that they cannot survive in a fight against the trolls right now. The Evoker Wizard, Evoker, ends her Phantom Steed spell. She dismisses her owl familiar into a pocket dimension. The wizard expends a 4th level spell slot to cast Dimension Door, bringing the fighter with her. Together, they teleport 500 feet away into the forest. The trolls roar and chase after the 2 adventurers. However, they are unsure of the precise direction and distance. The champion fighter, Percy Jones, applies his survival skills to search for the quickest route through the forest. With a survival skill check of 20, the fighter finds where other creatures apparently clear through the forest growth. The fighter leads the wizard along the quickest route to escape from the trolls. The trolls attempt to pursue, searching through the forest. After a short time, the fighter and the wizard find a safe place to hide. They approach a cave shelter. They search for possible dangers here. They roll for perception checks, resulting in 9 for the fighter and 6 for the wizard. The area appears to be free from dangers at the moment. Inside the cave shelter, however, the ground obviously has been disturbed. The wizard points to the piles of discarded bones and refuse. The fighter notices sets of large trampling footprints. The wizard admonishes the fighter for leading them directly into a cave den, probably belonging to the trolls. Nonetheless, they may be able to fortify this position and recover some of their strength before the trolls can arrive here. Percy Jones finds nearby rocks and tree trunks for barricading the cave entrance, while Evoker prepares a ritual spell of Leomund's tiny hut as an extra protective barrier that the trolls cannot breach. During the next 1 hour, Percy Jones and Evoker manage to gain the benefits of a short rest. They use their hit dice to regain all of their hit points. The champion fighter regains his action surge. The Evoker Wizard uses her arcane recovery to regain 1 4th level spell slot that she had used for casting Dimension Door. She still is missing 1 1st level spell slot for casting Mage Armor, 1 2nd level spell slot for casting Hold Person, and 1 4th level spell slot for upcasting Scorching Ray. The trolls lose their interest in searching through the forest. Instead, they move back to their cave den. They halt abruptly when they see the barricaded cave entrance and the tiny hut inside the cave. They shout out in the giant language, demanding for the intruders to show themselves. Percy Jones reminds the wizard that trolls cannot die unless they are damaged by fire. Evoker notes that, in fact, both fire and acid damage can halt a troll's ability to regenerate. Nonetheless, she is prepared to cast fire damage spells. Evoker ends the tiny hut spell. The adventurers and the trolls prepare for combat. They all roll for initiative. The champion fighter rolls with advantage, using his remarkable athlete feature with a disappointing result of 8. The Evoker Wizard rolls 17. The nearest troll rolls 7. The farthest troll rolls 10. The Evoker Wizard, Evoker, gazes at the nearest troll. She casts Polymorph, aiming to transform the troll into a harmless cat. The troll fails the wisdom saving throw. At least for now, the troll is polymorphed into a cat. The spell will last until the troll loses 2 temporary hit points of the cat, or until the wizard ends her concentration on the spell. The farthest troll is the next to act. The troll uses its dash action to move around the barricade and into melee contact with the nearest opponent. The champion fighter, Percy Jones, begins with a series of attacks against the troll. The first attack with the trident rolls 22, hitting against the troll's armor class of 15. It causes 13 piercing damage. The topple weapon mastery of the trident forces the troll to attempt a constitution saving throw. A result of 9 fails. The troll is knocked prone. With the shield master feat, the champion fighter attempts a shield bash that could push the troll 5 feet away. The troll rolls a strength saving throw. A result of 17 succeeds, and the troll is not pushed. The fighter continues with his attacks, rolling with advantage against the prone target. The trident hits again. It inflicts 11 piercing damage. Percy Jones uses his action surge for another 2 attacks with the trident. A natural 20 scores a critical hit, bringing extra damage with the piercer feat. The total is 17 piercing damage. Additionally, with the piercer feat, the fighter can re-roll 1 damage die, but the result is the same. The champion fighter attacks once more. A natural 19 is a critical hit for a champion. With the extra piercer feat damage, the troll suffers 22 piercing damage. The troll grumbles and snarls, knowing that it could regenerate from its wounds. Due to the polymorph spell, another troll is in the form of a cat. The cat stays in its position using the dodge action, gaining advantage on dexterity saving throws and imposing disadvantage on attack rolls that the cat can see. At the end of round 1, the fighter and the wizard appear to be in control of this battle. One troll has been polymorphed into a cat. The other troll stays in the fight with only 31 of its 94 hit points remaining. In round 2, the Evoker Wizard, Evoker, casts Fireball. She uses her Sculpt spell feature to affect only the one troll in melee combat. The Fireball generates 31 fire damage. The troll fails the dexterity saving throw, and it suffers the full 31 damage. The troll growls as it falls to the ground with 0 hit points remaining. After sustaining this fire damage, the troll cannot regenerate any hit points. The mighty creature has been defeated. The champion fighter moves out toward the troll that has been polymorphed into a cat. The fighter prepares with a ready action to attack the creature if it will do anything hostile. This last remaining troll, temporarily in the form of a cat, uses the disengage action to move away from the fighter with the cat's movement of 40 feet. The champion fighter and the Evoker Wizard use this opportunity to move away from the cave den. Eventually, the polymorphed troll will resume its original shape as a troll. For now, though, the two adventurers can move safely through the forest without further concerns of combat. Soon enough, the fighter and the wizard find their way back to the forest path. They consider their next steps. At this point, Percy Jones and Evoker agree to travel along their separate ways. They may have regained some of their respect for each other, yet right now they are not prepared to cooperate as a team. Our story will continue in the next episodes of Nemesis Battles. For now, in the comment section, please share your ideas and suggestions about what could have happened differently and what could happen next. As always, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.